doing today? First off, I'm really glad I recorded that second kind of financial video late last night. The market was down 880 or so total, right over 2 days, and I said some things that are already already coming to bear. First off, we talked about really what was going on, right? There was the consumer numbers, and then the horrible ISM numbers, and there's more numbers coming out today and another one tomorrow that would just show if this is spreading or getting worse, depending on how you kind of want to put that together. And lo and behold, about 5 minutes ago, we kind of reported some numbers on the service industry, which were much worse than expected, right? So the service sector has been strong. They were expecting a reading of 55.3. It came in at 52.6. This is a lot like the ISM metric where 50 is kind of break even and above 50 is expanding and below 50 is declining or contracting. So basically what this is saying is yes, the service sector still had job growth, but is significantly weaker than expected, and frankly was the lowest reading since August of 2016, which by my math was right before the last election. So not a good reading at all, and something we need to watch out for, given it's one of the last legs in the stool to keep us going. The other thing is we do have a key number tomorrow about the business and service sector growth coming out, and then there's the jobs number on I think it's on Friday. They're expecting that to be 130,000. I'm going to say it now. I expect that to be I expect a negative surprise. Last time we talked about this number, we had this artificial bump from the Census Bureau. If you remember, you can go back and watch it. But I think this is going to be a negative surprise, and we will see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I guess tomorrow's Friday. So at the end of this, we're going to really see what's going on in the job market, because that's the last thing that's out there holding it together. The one thing that happened yesterday that we talked about in my afternoon session was we talked about Tesla very briefly. They came in, I think it was 97,000 units. They were, or Elon was expecting 100,000, or at least that was the goal. But what I said yesterday was, if the market is getting as soft as I think it is, that Tesla, while great engineering, and yes, per one of the comments yesterday, I understand the engineering behind it. I know the demand is out there for clean energy, and all of those things are all true. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to buying the next car, there will be people that go, you know what, not this time. I'll buy it next time. And they will buy a cheaper, if not much cheaper, gas-powered vehicle, or they'll just delay a purchase, right? I don't think anybody needs a Tesla, right? I'm a big proponent of need versus want. And I think we're getting into an environment where more and more people will get needs versus wants. So, and I think Tesla is going to suffer that, as is lots of other luxury brands, Land Rover, and all these other very high end, not completely discretionary purchases are going to be in trouble. And just to echo that, one of the first places you often see this from consumers is in real estate. And I may sneeze, sorry. Oh! I must have a flower or something in this room that makes me sneeze every morning. But in the end, first place you see this often is in real estate. And I have two examples from this morning. One is Manhattan. I think we talked about it yesterday or the day before, but just more numbers. Again, prices are down 14%, but also unit volume, or volume of sales, is also down 14%. So this wasn't just some arbitrary 3 or 4 big listings not closing that affected the price. It's also total unit volume. And what happens here is there's always people that end up having to sell. And if buyers are decreasing, the inventory is going to tick up, and you'll go from 8 months supply to 10 months to 15 months very quickly. And people just won't see it coming, and they'll be all shocked. But what really is going on is consumers are not as confident, and they don't want to sign up for those crazy prices, and they'll just rent, or they'll stay in the house they're in. It really boils down to that simple many times. But we're also, Manhattan is not the only place you see this. You see it in the Hamptons, where these eight-figure homes are being sold for 15 to 20% under asking price routinely now, and they have 15 months of supply. And it can just happen just like that. And why I'm bringing up the Hamptons in Manhattan today is because they're at kind of the tip of the spear, if you will, or the highest ends of the market. And I expect this to come down. I expect Orange County to be negative, and San Francisco to be negative, and San Jose, and any other market that is just astronomically priced is going to suffer. And then there'll be extra catalysts, like in the Bay Area, where we have all these unicorn stocks that we've done a fair amount of talking about that had paper wealth that is essentially evaporating, right? WeWork being the latest example, just to cancel its IPO, right? I guarantee you there were employees there that were looking at buying the next Los Gatos or Los Altos or Saratoga home that can't now because who knows when that IPO or if it will ever happen. And if you don't know those cities, those are just ridiculously priced markets here in the Bay Area. Same thing will happen in Orange County, Santa Barbara, just anything where prices are over seven figures. People are going to make decisions not to buy. They'll either stay where they are or they'll rent, right? Rent's not a bad option. And that's going to cause supply, just like the Hamptons. Supply is going to increase. It'll become a buyer's market. And it won't freaking matter how low interest rates are, right? It may help at the margin, but if paper wealth is disappearing, if consumers are getting scared, they won't sign up for those huge mortgage payments. It really is that simple, right? You'll see it in Tesla, you'll see it in Land Rover, you'll see it in all of these other metrics where it's a want, not a need. So I really do believe between now and in 2020, it's the time to get educated, get smart, learn your market. I talk about it all the time in the course, and we're going to be really, really aggressive. The other things to talk about is the Fed has a decision on rate cuts October 30th, so the day before Halloween. I think I said it 3 or 4 days ago. I'm actually expecting a half point. I think it's going to get that negative. Lots of people today come out and said they're expect all this news to give the green light to a quarter cut. I want to be the first on record to tell you I think a half is coming. I think they're going to get aggressive, and they're going to see some problems. In the end, don't forget we still have some other, I don't know if they're black swans or external events that could certainly impact us. There's Brexit going on in Europe, and we can't forget about Hong Kong and China. We haven't talked about that in a while, but that isn't settling down and certainly could blow up any minute. So we certainly have to watch this. Then the last thing I want to put on record, see how I do, is right now people are calling for extremely good holiday sales. The last I saw was over 5% growth year on year. I'm here to tell you that they're going to be greatly disappointed. They're not paying attention to the consumer. Now, if you've already bought your holiday gifts, first, congratulations, because I hadn't even thought of it. If that's true, then you're done, you're baked. But I'm guessing most people haven't. I'm guessing most people don't buy till Thanksgiving or after. And if that's true, I suspect the news between whatever is today is October 3rd and Thanksgiving to be negative to really negative, because I think we've tipped. I think all the consumer data coming out is going to be negative, and I think people are going to sit on their wallets. So I guess I'll call a flat year on year, because I don't think we're going to go from 4 to 8% employment in 5 weeks. That's not going to happen, or 8 weeks or whatever it is. But I think the trend is going to be negative, and people are going to buy one less gift. They're going to buy, one. They're going to step down. Instead of buying the $200 doll or whatever it is, they'll buy the $100 doll. So I expect all these rosy outlooks about holiday sales to either be disappointed, or they're going to cut them as we get closer to Thanksgiving and after. I don't expect this to be the rosy holiday season. It could have been, should this have been delayed a quarter. And then we can't forget General Motors and the UAW strike. That is still going on. That is still rippling through the supply chain and manufacturing. It's not good. I think we must be going on or entering our third week. I couldn't imagine, right? Living paycheck to paycheck. I think I reported they're getting strike pay now. This is a tough time. And but again, as real estate investors, what do we look for? We watch the consumer, because they're the ones that become owner occupants and they create the biggest demand. And we want to see if they're contracting which they are, and I expect it to get worse. And then we expect cost of capital, and I expect cost of capital to improve. Hence, 2020, I think it's going to be a good time to add some units, and we will. And yeah, just make sure you learn your market. I think if you haven't yet, you need to find a way to learn your market. If you don't know how, link below in the description to a course that will help you do that. Else, just get ready for 2020. I think it's going to be pretty fun. All right, thanks. Take care. Bye.